Assalamualaikum everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Tasnim. So today I would be telling you a horror story. Now I know I basically do book reviews and stories about what the book said, but today I'm here to tell you about a real incident, a real horror one that almost took out the soul out of a body. But be seated and listen carefully. So the story starts like this: a girl narrating everything that happened in her life that night. She's a Bangladeshi girl from a Muslim family. Her name was Tasnim. She, along with her family, her father, mother, and brother, all of them moved to a new apartment that her father just bought from another man. Now this story starts from a few thousand decades ago. For decades, there was a pond near the apartment land, and people who lived around those areas always saw that there were a lot of fishes in those ponds. The fishermen of the nearby area thought that why can't we feed on those fishes? If we sold them into the market, we would have a lot of money. So one day everyone and every fisherman in the area went down to the pond to fish. But when they caught fishes in their nets, instead of fishes, they turned out to be snakes. Every time they placed their net into the water, that they saw there was a fish, but the fish actually transformed into a snake. Nobody knows how. Whenever they saw a fish nearby, when they fetched it, it was a snake. It turned into a snake. Nobody knew why. It was mysterious, and everyone started to get scared. Eventually, climate changes, geographical changes, the pond dried up, and from then, no type of incidents like this happened. A few years later, the apartment was built. But the shocking thing is the apartment was never rented. Even if it was rented, no family could have stayed there more than 1 month. What was in that building? Nobody knew. Tasnim's father didn't even bother. He didn't believe in ghosts. He bought the apartment. Tasnim was a little upset that she had to leave her hometown and come to the city place to live with her father. And a few days later, she actually started liking the place, but she started to notice something unnatural going on. The unnatural type of wind blowing through their balcony, the unnatural type of sky, everything was triggering her. She never knew why. A few days later, after they shifted, her father had a business trip, so she said goodbye to her father and stayed home with her mother and her father. So her father went on a business trip, and there are only 3 people in the house: Tasnim, her brother, and her mother. They were quite a little scared as it was thunderstorming that day. And out of nowhere, suddenly the electricity went off. Good thing that they had a generator, and some of the lights of the house were still ongoing. They were still lit up. Suddenly, they started hearing a knock on their building gate. Note that they lived in an apartment area, but that apartment area was boundaried with a steel gate, and someone was pounding hard on that gate. So hard, so unnatural. Tasnim started to get scared. Even her brother started to get scared. But her mother said it's nothing. Maybe someone wants to come in. Maybe someone is trapped in the storm and needs her help. But Tasnim insisted that her mother doesn't know her. Tasnim instructed her brother to close all the windows and doors very tightly, pull up the curtains. Tasnim was a really scared girl. She was scared that something might happen. So this time, the pounding started getting even worse. So her mother slightly peeked through the window and who was pounding so hard. It seemed like an old woman that was pounding on their door, on the steel gate. Suddenly, the old woman looked at her and jumped on the window. She started moving from one window to another window, pounding hard. It was really awesome and scary. They hurriedly turned up the curtains, and they sat together in one place, reciting Ayatul Kursi, a special surah in the Islamic world that would help us and protect us from any evil eye. An hour later, it stopped pounding. Everyone was shocked that like this in such a speed from window to window is not possible. Was it something else? After an hour, someone else knocked on their door. This time, a man called out, "Hey, open the gate. I want to come in." This time, her mother, Noshin's mother, slowly went to the gate. This time, luckily, it was her uncle, Noshin's mother's brother. They were so delighted to have him. They told him everything, and he stayed the night with them. After that, they complained to their father that they didn't want to stay in this place anymore. But their father insisted that nothing will happen and Allah will protect us. And after that, no such incident happened. But that day still haunts Noshin. That night was awful. I hope you liked the story, and if you did, please share, like, and comment. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I love this.